Thank you so much, Carol, for being here today. My name is Kevin Yin. I'm the staff on Radio NIGP, and I'm so glad that you're here with us, sharing your knowledge and expertise. Carol, would you please share a brief statement of when you worked for NIGP, the Institute for Public Procurement?
I started there in November of '99, and I left 2 months shy of 19 years. So I was there a long time. But I met so many wonderful people. It was a wonderful place to be. And we saw many good things happen. And even now, when we talk about the future, and when you do something to hope there'll be benefits, I think it was you who taught me about the tree, and you plant a tree and it grows. All the things we did in those 19 years have grown into many, many things that we had no idea that would happen.
So for our listener viewers, would you share what you wish you had known early in your career with NIGP in terms of working with public procurement professionals? Or what's the greatest lesson learned in your opinion?
Oh my goodness, I learned so many. I learned that public procurement professionals are hungry to learn. They want to learn from each other. They want to learn from experts. They want to learn from the community they represent. They're hungry, and they were hungry, and still are, I would imagine, to learn from scholars and from a book and from a webinar, from an online class. The idea that they could do their job, even though they do their job well, that they could do so much more. The profession changed my life. I never knew of the work that was being done, and then to be able to understand how that translates into ethics and equal opportunity and equity for the buying community. Yeah, it was transforming.
So if you had to, if there was something that you had to do over again, what would that be? I know that's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question. I think I would have worked harder to make the profession represented on the academic level. It was always floundering under the surface. It got stuck in day-to-day operations. But the challenge available to bring people into the procurement community that bring an academic background and scholarly research, I think that's just one of the areas that we could have done so much better in.
Thinking back to how you dealt with public procurement professionals, would you do anything differently?
Well, I think we always go back, and hindsight is always easier than vision. But there were things that we did that laid the groundwork for the future that we didn't know. Look at webinars. Oh my gosh. The first webinar we had in somebody's little tiny office, and Rick Grimm was there, and I was there, and the staff person was there, and the rest of the staff was in the conference room, and nobody was breathing. it was just like, this will never work. What are we going to do? What if it fails? And it didn't. And it was the beginning. And to think that that was the root, here we're back to roots, that was the root of online learning. And
absolutely right.
It's almost unimaginable. And how we didn't trust ourselves and we didn't believe this was the future. And now we'll go back to the pandemic, which forced us, or the community rather, to find different ways to deliver education. And the 20 years in between, leaps and bounds were made.
Anything else that you would like to add?
Only that it's wonderful. Well, first of all, it's wonderful to see you. And it's wonderful to see how the community is growing. And I'm so grateful that you all still have the opportunity to get together now again.
Yes.
It's just that too in itself, that network, that face-to-face, that handshake makes all the difference in the world.